Today we are standing at a massive crossroads. One of our most powerful inventions ever, artificial intelligence, has put us here. And we're going to dive into what that means for human conflict and the two very, very different futures it could create for all of us.
All right, so to really get a grip on where we're going with AI, we have to start by looking back. We have to ask a pretty deep question about conflict itself.
And when I say antiquated, I'm not just talking about old planes or tanks. I mean, is the entire idea of war obsolete? Is it ethically bankrupt? Logically flawed? I mean, does it even really work as a way to solve our biggest problems anymore?
For literally thousands of years, war has been our go-to solution. It's what we do when talking fails. But let's be real for a sec. When has it ever led to lasting, sustainable peace? If you look at what it actually produces, it's pretty grim. You get temporary ceasefires that nobody trusts, trauma that scars families for generations, huge profits for weapons manufacturers, and cemeteries just filled with lost potential.
This is where AI just flips the whole table. We finally have a tool that is smart enough to help us tackle the big stuff, the things that felt impossible, like climate change or disease or poverty. But, and this is a huge but, we are right on the verge of making a classic, almost predictable human mistake, turning our best invention into our scariest weapon. And that risk, it's not some sci-fi movie plot. It is happening as we speak. We are watching the starting pistol fire on a whole new kind of global arms race, one that is completely supercharged by artificial intelligence. You've heard this line a million times, right? Peace through strength. It's the age-old justification for building bigger and better weapons. But what does strength even look like in the 21st century? Well, the answer is being written in code right now.
And this is not hypothetical. Look at this. These are real companies, real countries, building the machinery for an AI-powered war. We're talking fighter jets that think for themselves, swarms of tiny drones that coordinate attacks, robotic tanks. And that Kargu 2 drone from Turkey, it reportedly hunted down and attacked human targets all on its own in Libya. That was back in 2020. This isn't coming. It's here.
So the fact that these things exist, it forces us to face maybe the most profound moral question of our generation. This goes way beyond tactics or tech. This is about life and death. This is it. This is the whole ballgame. It might be the single most important question we face today. It's not about faster computers or better aim. It is about who or what we are willing to give the power of God to. Should a piece of software, an algorithm, be allowed to make a decision that can never, ever be taken back?
But here's the fascinating counterargument. The very thing that makes AI so incredible, its ability to learn, to adapt, to evolve on its own, is the exact same thing that makes it totally unfit to make lethal decisions. An AI can learn, sure, but it does it without a conscience, without empathy, without any real understanding of what it means to take a human life.
And that's the bottom line. When you hand over a kill decision to a machine, you are reducing a human being, their hopes, their family, their entire existence to a string of ones and zeros. That is not a technical problem you can solve with a software update. It is a fundamental moral failure.
Now, it's easy to hear all this and feel like we're just doomed, right? That we're already on a dark path. But the key thing to remember is that none of this is set in stone. We are standing at a fork in the road. It's a choice, and we have to make it consciously.
I mean, just look at our own history. We have a pattern of developing new tech through the lens of violence. We went from the spear to the sword, to the gun, to the nuclear bomb. And every single leap was justified as being necessary. And every single time, it just left the world with deeper wounds. AI is the next big question mark on that timeline.
But here's the difference. AI wasn't born to be a weapon. It's a mind built to create, not a hammer built to shatter. On one path, it can solve global problems. It can heal. It can translate languages and connect us. On the other path, it just repeats our worst mistakes. We can be the generation that finally breaks that cycle.
So it all comes down to this really simple, almost absurd question. We have this technology with unbelievable potential for good, for creation, for connection. So why on earth would we teach this mind how to kill? Why would we take a tool of progress and hand it the logic of destruction?
So if we say no to that logic of destruction, what's the alternative? What does it actually look like to take the other path? How do we start building what you could call the machinery of peace?
Well, the proposal is actually pretty clear, and it's built on three big actions. First, an international ban, a treaty that outlaws any weapon that can kill without a human pulling the trigger. Second, control, a strict global rule that there must always be meaningful human control over all military AI.
And third, we go on offense. We create a global AI for Peace Accord, where we dedicate this tech to solving our shared problems, not making them worse. And this isn't just wishful thinking. There is a real, powerful movement behind this. You've got organizations like the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots, the Future of Life Institute, and even huge global players like UNESCO. This is a coalition of some of the world's top scientists and advocates, and they are already fighting for this safer future.
In the end, AI is really just a mirror. It's forcing us to take a hard look at ourselves and decide what we actually care about. The choice isn't really about the machines, it's about us. As we step into this new age, will we finally break our oldest, most destructive habits? Will the rise of these incredible machines challenge us to become more thoughtful, more ethical, more human? That's the choice we all have to make.